This is 2018. This is JC, and this year, starting off, I wanted to show you all a little project that I've been working on. Put together a mobile PBX system here. So I'm going to show you the components that we're going to use today to get this project rolling. So I've got a Raspberry Pi. Y'all can see this here at home. I'll be using this to as my PBX that'll be running Asterix. And I have a portable power adapter. And excuse some of the black straps. This is actually Velcro. I'm a kind of a Velcro fanatic here, so I like using Velcro where I can to mount stuff and secure stuff. And I have a USB 3.0 hub. You can see here. And last but not least, I have a portable hotspot, which is what we will be using to connect our PBX and any other devices. And essentially what this will do is become a portable network. You'll be able to kind of take it with you, be mobile, and make use of that extra cell phone device that you might have laying around. Turn that into an actual phone that you can use to make calls off of. And we'll be putting all this together. I'll show you how to put this together and basically create a free kind of phone system using Google Voice. So what you'll need, if you haven't gotten already, what you'll need is to get you a Google Voice or Google account set up. Get that kind of pre-set up. I've got one already set up, so we'll use one of my accounts to get this up and rolling. And I also have a you can see this here. This is it's a mounting bracket that came off of an old computer, and so I just took this and used it to secure my pieces of devices down with. Y'all can see that there. So we got 4 or 5 pieces of equipment here we're going to put together, and which will become our portable PBX unit, and we'll get rolling here. So I'm just going to assemble things together the way that I'm going to have them mounted on my board here. So how did we said we're going to put you here. So I got my battery pack mounted like that, see, okay, and then I had my PBX, I believe, this way. Okay, you see, got both of those kind of Velcroed down. I'm gonna straighten this one up. It looks a little crooked, a little bit. To have everything kind of even, at least as much as I can. Okay, that's better. Alright, and then we've got our USB hub. We're gonna pop down on here. Okay, and then we've got our internet device, our hotspot. I'm gonna secure to the top of our power supply. So what I've kind of secured and tied together, if you can see here, so I've got the, you can kind of, I don't know if the lighting's pretty any good, so you can see I've got the, the Raspberry Pis here. I've got here's my hotspot, and then here's my power supply, and then here's my USB hub. So, and here's my cord coming for power from my Raspberry Pi. And essentially what you'll do is you're going to connect the cord for the USB 3.0 hub. I'm going to route that around like this. And we're going to plug it into one of the free available USB plug-ins for our portable hub, our power adapter. And then our Raspberry Pi, our power for that will simply plug into our, if you can see here, we'll plug into one of our ports on our USB hub. And there we have it. So this will essentially make that kind of portable, and you can take this with you and have a portable phone system. Stay with me, and I'm going to walk you through, show you how to actually set up your PBX, get that going, and get this connected to our hotspot, and we'll start and make some calls and do a test call with this. So stay with me, tune in, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hey, good morning. This is 2018. Welcome back. If you're just now joining me, or if you are this is your first time checking out the video here, welcome or welcome back. But I wanted to start off or finish up. We were talking about setting up a Raspberry Pi PBX and making that into like a mobile type of platform. So if you were with us in the earlier video, I showed you the devices we were going to be working with, and I showed you how we would assemble those and kind of create this mobile phone system, or mobile platform, if you will. So what we wanted to do right now, we're going to start off. I want to show you where you can find this. You can find asterisk for Raspberry Pi. So if you don't have a Raspberry Pi, or you don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, you see the picture here. Basically it's a credit card size computer that's kind of all the rage now. You can use them for all kind of projects and do-it-yourself IT related things. Programming and learning and of that nature. And what I've done is I'm utilizing this Raspberry Pi build of asterisks. I set up my own PBX, and what I want to do is actually show you guys, everyone out there, how to set one up. And it's a real portable solution. If you're looking for something that's kind of a drop-in, you want something that you can actually may even be able to replace your existing phone system, this is the thing you ought to check out. So we're working with Raspberry Pi, and this is what this is. So this is a build of Ras PBX. It's asterisk for Raspberry Pi. If you navigate here, you'll find the download section. You can go through here, and what you want to do is download here. It's got the latest image, which is this right there. Got the zip file, or you can use torrent if you're in the BitTorrent. So I've kind of went through in the process and done this already, but this gives you the basic steps to go through. What you want to do is download the zip or the torrent. Now, if you don't have a way to, you need the image. Let me stop. Let me back up. So you'll need to download the image. You'll need a micro SD card. Let me see if I might have one here so I can show you. You need a micro SD card for your Raspberry Pi. Do I have one? Yeah. So you need a micro SD. So if y'all can see that there, you need like a little micro SD, good in size. I recommend at least maybe a 16 gig SD. So you'll need to download that, and you'll need to rip that or burn the image, extract the image to your SD card. There's a few ways you can do that. Let me see here. I would suggest, which is probably the easiest way, there's a real easy application you can download, and it'll actually help rip that right to your SD card. Here it is, Etcher. It's called Etcher. So what you do is this is what it looks like. You download this, you run this application, and you select your image, select the drive. So with your SD card placed in your computer, if you have an SD card slot. If you don't, I recommend you getting like a card adapter or a card reader that you'll be able to recognize. So you get in there. It's a pretty 3-step process. Select the image, select the drive, flash. So that'll flash that asterisk image, which is this. It'll flash that to your SD card, and once that's done, it gives you a base default login here. As you can see here, it's just root, and the password is RasberryPi. So you get that downloaded, you get that flashed onto your SD card, you put that into your Raspberry Pi. Let me grab I'll show y'all where I got it. So, and you want to slide it into your Raspberry Pi. Hold on, let me. Oh, snap. That didn't come off right. Hold on, folks, let me. Little pod broke off wrong way here. Let me put it back in place here. So we go here. Okay. Alright, so got my Raspberry Pi here. Just so you can see, this is a different one, but you put your SD card in that slot there, and as you can see, it's got network connections, got a couple of it's got actually 4 USB ports. You got audio, let me see, you got audio, it's got HDMI, and there's your power right there. So once you got your image is downloaded, you flashed it, you've got it loaded, that SD card loaded into your Raspberry Pi, you go ahead and load that up, put some power to your Raspberry Pi, and once you're there, I already got mine. Let me see make sure mine is online. If it's got the same IP address. Okay. But I don't know that it does. Let's see here. It might. I have to remember what my login is here. Hold on. So let me minimize a few things here. I had a couple of things running here, so you have to excuse what I got going on here. So, and what happened to my video? I'll go here. Okay. And then where are you at? Let's go back. And it's not always on top, always on this. digital workspace. Okay. All right, there we go. So let's make sure our Raspberry Pi, my Raspberry Pi is up. I've got mine imaged. I've got it loaded up. I just need to verify it's on my network here. Either you're going to have to initially plug it in, plug your Raspberry Pi in so you can do some initial configuration. So I would suggest you, with a Cat 5, just plug it into your router or your switch or whatever your home network is, so you can kind of finish up the configuration once you put the SD card in. Let me see here. So I might have to take a guess here. I know it's online, so that might be what it is. If it's got the same IP. So yeah. So once you got your PBX, your Raspberry Pi PBX, you got it fired up. You put your SD card in. Well, you downloaded the image. You downloaded the program so you could burn it to the SD card. Burn the image to your SD card. Once the image is burned, put it into your Raspberry Pi. Apply power to your Raspberry Pi. Fire it up. Or make sure it's connected to your network also. So make sure your Raspberry Pi is connected to the network, preferably initially via the physical network cable, your RJ45, your Ethernet cable. Plug it in, fire it up, let it boot completely up. It should pull a DHCP IP address, and you go ahead and log in or pull up your web interface to whatever your IP address is. And by default, until you change it, the administrative password to log into the web interface is admin. So you just type that in, it'll get you logged in, and you'll be good to go. I've changed mine, but you can, once you get in, takes a little time. Boom, there we go. It's going to come up to your main dashboard, and here, so your PBX is up and running. Now there's a few things, there's a few settings that you might want to go check out, and that I'm going to show you to get this up and going. One thing is, you want to, first thing, make sure you're that you're updated. So you can either do this via the web interface, which is the preferred method to do this. So once you get logged in, you're going to module admin, and we're going to make sure you got the right ones. I typically use the first three here, and you want to check online. Click here so you'll be able to get notifications. So put in whatever your machine ID, the email address that you want your updates information to be sent to. So you want to check online. So I want to make sure all of my modules are updated, and this is the location where you'll be able to install any additional modules. So I just want to upgrade. I want to upgrade everything that's available. Shouldn't be that many. It's about 4. So, and this right here is you want to make sure when you go to I'll show you here, but you want that Google Voice channel motif. That's what you want to in order to set up your PBX, to use Google Voice. So I'm going to let this update. Shouldn't take long here. Now, I'm not going to go through the process, and we're not in showing you how to install Asterisk. You can check out subscribe to my YouTube channel, Be With Consulting. Check out my earlier video on setting up Asterisk PBX. I kind of walk through from scratch setting it up as a virtual machine. So now that we've got that updated, what you want to do to make sure, you want to go to module admin, make sure unsupported is selected, and you'd have to make sure that's selected, update it, and once it's updated and refreshed, you will see connectivity. You scroll down, you have this Google channel motif option here, or module available now, and that'll show listed under here under Google Voice for connectivity. So what you want to do is, I've already got mine added, but what you want to do is you'd click add, and you essentially would fill in the requirements here. So you put in if you missed a few steps here, you do need to check out the first part of the video, roll it back, but you will need to create you a Google Voice or Google account, which will then allow you to set up a free Google Voice number. So you'll be able to do that. I'm not going to go through and show you all how to, going through and setting up a Gmail account. That's pretty straightforward. But once you have that created and you go in to activate your Google Voice number, here you would put in your Google Voice number. Here, your Google Voice username is as you can see here, supply the Google Voice login. If you don't supply the @domain, it'll just append Gmail to the back of it, or to the end of it. So here you'll put in your Google Voice or your Gmail account. You can leave all of this authentication mode used for Google. Leave everything kind of default. You put your password in here. Make sure you've got a pretty secure password, and then you want to configure trunk. All these options you want to say yes on. So you configure trunk, configure outbound route, use Google voicemail. Let's see, send unanswered to Google voicemail after 25 seconds. If you're going to be using this as your main PBX, I would leave that off. And then you can say always answer mode. You can leave that off. Google, leave everything else as no. So this will put your password in. This will create a trunk and then the outbound route for your Google Voice account. And then once you put that information in, as long as your password is good, it should connect up. With one exception, mind you, I do have to tell you, you may need to go in and adjust your security options on your Gmail account. If you're going to use your Gmail, your Google Voice to set this up, there is, because of the plain text option to authenticate, basically it's just using your username and your password to authenticate and connect to your Google Voice account. So you need to adjust your Google Voice. I might be able to show you. You need to adjust your Google Voice security settings, and what this to allow other applications to connect to it. Otherwise, even though you put your information or your credentials in correctly, if you don't set that option on your security settings for your Gmail, it won't allow you to connect. Now, with that in mind, I would suggest that you create a very secure and strong password. I'd recommend 16 characters or more. The more the merrier. Honestly I would go with 24 characters, because you're going to be using this as a phone solution. So you want your security to be secure. You want it to be secure, and because you're reducing Gmail's security level a tad bit in order for your PBX to communicate, I highly recommend implementing a very strong password. Very strong. So with that in mind, so you can kind of continue on, you would go here like I specified, to go in here, create your Google Voice, do all of that. Once it's connected, you'll have, let me go back, I'm going to show you, once it's all connected, and here I got you all in mind, you have a green option here. It'll show as connected, and after that let's go back. So it'll show that you're connected. So after that, it'll show that you're connected, and you can go click here to your dashboard. See, and right here it'll show you any users that are connected online. And so from there, you would go here, click check out your trunk, because it would have created the trunk for you. And what you want to make sure you do is you want to go here, you want to check the general settings. You can go in here, you can change the name if you want to. You can put in the outbound caller ID that you want your trunk to show up as when dialing out. So then we go here to outbound routes. We click on our outbound Gmail route. Excuse me. And you click on dial patterns. Right here you got a dial pattern wizard. You can click on this. Select your typically you want to do your 7-digit, 10-digit, and long distance. Gmail you won't be able to do any emergency dialing over your Google Voice. So I would suggest you save that usage for your cell phone, unless you have another third-party SIP provider that has E911 services. Otherwise, if you're using Google Voice as your trunk, you won't be able to use U.S. emergency services. So as far as that, go with the 7-digit, 10-digit, and use long distance dialing. Go ahead and select that, and so it'll prepend give you these options here, and it's basically telling you the matching pattern. What can be dialed out of that route, and you see the route is attached to this. This is my Google Voice. Let's go to inbound route. And okay, inbound route. On your inbound route, you would add an inbound route. You go here, give it a name. I don't have any caller ID set, any destination here. So once a call comes in to your Google Voice number, comes through your PBX, this is where you set the destination where you want that call to go. So I have a ring group created. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, but essentially you would, if you have once you create your extensions, so you create your extension, you could say I want it just to go, I have a phone set up on here and I want it to go here, bam, extension. I have an extension 88088, my mobile office extension. It'll go there and it'll ring my mobile office phone extension. Change it back to my ring groups here. Okay, so here I'll show you guys where to go. If you go to applications, go here to extensions, and you can go here, and I've got several extensions created here, but what you do is you want a SIP channel extension. You'd say add new SIP channel extension, and here you go in. You can create your secret password. I suggest you create a strong password. Give the user extension. This will be the number of the extension. So in line with what I already have, you could do like 80, 80 whatever. I've got several. I'm not going to create a new one. So you go here, give it a name, leave everything else as the default. You can go here if you want to enable the voicemail for that extension. Go in here, you set the email, so email will be sent. And I'm going to show you, before I finish, remind me, I'm going to show you guys where to go. For all you kind of that are a little bit more tech savvy, I'll show you where to go and actually, there's a file you need to edit to allow your PBX to send voicemail. And since once you create your Gmail account, what we're going to do is allow your PBX to use your Gmail as use the SMTP, Gmail's SMTP server as a relay. And so once you have your extension set up, you've got your Google Voice trunk. It's connected. It shows connected with the green connectivity mark under your Gmail, your Google Voice connectivity option. You've got your extensions set, how you want them. You can add voicemail, what have you. Okay, so once you've got all that set, let's click back to our dashboard. So we've got that set, and I do have a phone. I'm going to show you guys. And what you want to do is there's several SIP applications. All you need to do is download, whether you got iPhone or Android, download there's plenty of free SIP applications. One that I could recommend, or maybe two that are all. I don't know if they're both. I know this one's both available on Apple and Android, but it's called Zoiper, and it's ZOIPER. So if you look that up, that's a free SIP app. It'll allow you to kind of get your mobile device, any mobile device, connected to your PBX. So we got our PBX set up. I want to go, now this is some kind of, I gotta remember my password here. I think that's wrong. Okay. Alright, so I'm logged into the console on my PBX here, as you can see here. And once you get logged in, it gives you a few options here. You can actually do some modifications here, install. There's a backup, so completely back up your system to an image file. Install Halifax. It's a fax extension if you want to have that option. You can set your time zone. And here's probably one of the most important is the upgrade option. So you it keeps your PBX upgraded with the latest add-ons and security fixes. So once you're there, you get logged in, type in your root login and password. So I want to show you where to go to, and I'm actually going to pull this up. There's a handy, there's a really handy, I got this guy's site bookmarked because he really did an excellent job right here. So you go here, Steve McCann. This is a step-by-step instruction. So if you go to www.stevemccann, that's McCann with 2 C's and 2 N's .net, go there, and he has changing free PBX postfix SMTP server to Gmail. So he has some step-by-step instruction. If you follow this to the T exactly, this will get you set up and with the ability for your PBX to not only send the updates to whatever email, but it'll also give you the option to send a voicemail to your email address. But this is, I mean, step-by-step instruction. Look at this. There's only 6 steps. But if you follow this to the T, utilizing your Gmail account that you set up, you follow this to the T, this will allow your Asterisk PBX to send email to voicemail and create a real unified communications platform for you. So, and if you want, I can provide this link at the end of the video here, but the site is www.stevemccann.net/2012//changing-free-pbx-smtp-server-2-gmail.html. So I know that was a pretty long mouthful, but I'll keep this up here for a little bit. So if you want to copy that link down and save that, and Steve, I don't know you, buddy, but this is a free plug for you. So awesome job on that. You did a good job. I followed these steps and it worked perfectly for me. Perfect. So, and not only does this work on free PBX, but you can also, if you're running a PBX server at all, I mean not PBX, but if you have if you're running postfix as your mail server, this is if you follow these steps, you can set up any postfix to relay mail through Gmail. So I'm gonna keep that up for a few more seconds before I kind of back out and go back, finish what we were doing here. So Steve McCann, changing free PBX, you got it. That's the site to go to. Bookmark it, save it, so you can reference it later. So back to what we were doing. So we, folks, just as a refresher, we've got free PBX. Asterisk for Raspberry Pi is what we got. It's running free PBX. So we've got an asterisk for Raspberry Pi. We've downloaded that. Downloaded the image from here. You can find that here at raspberry.asterisk.org. And you can download their built asterisk image for your Raspberry Pi. So you're gonna, 1, download the image. You're gonna 2, flash the image, flash that image to an SD card of available or of suggested storage, which is really, I would suggest 16 gig. You can use an 8 gig, but more the merrier. So you want to flash that. Then you want to pop that into your Raspberry Pi. So if you don't have a Raspberry Pi, go and get you one. They cost about $30. Very inexpensive computer, credit card size computer you can mess around with, get familiar with, and do a whole lot of things with. It's a very versatile piece of technology. So we got those down. Download, flash, pop in your Raspberry Pi. We fire up our Raspberry Pi. Make sure you've got, I didn't mention this before, but plug it up, so maybe that'll help really get you going if you need to. If you need to visually see anything, it's got an HDMI on it. Plug it up, plug a keyboard and mouse into it. Although it does essentially just go load up to a terminal command line interface, you can see how it boots up and at least maybe get your IP address information and access the web interface from another computer, your laptop or something, to do the actual get to the actual dashboard to do your configuration. So this is the Etcher is the utility program you can use to flash your SD card with the Raspberry PBX image. So we've got all that knocked out. We have loaded up our asterisks, and I'm going to go back so I can, and I think let me go. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go back here. I'm going to take you through. So we set up our Google Voice account, important, which is here. We set that up. We also checked make sure our trunks are in place. Make sure our outbound route and inbound route is in place. We create an extension, which is important. You create your extension that you want to connect your mobile device to. So I'm going to show you guys here. Here's my mobile device, and it's on my Wi-Fi. And right now my PBX is connected to. I have it connected to my Wi-Fi, and that's I'll finish up with the last video. I'll show you all how to connect your Raspberry Pi Wi-Fi to your hotspot, and show you how to do that automatically. Even though it's from the command line, I'll show you all how to do that. So every time you fire up your Raspberry Pi, it connects to your hotspot, making you have this kind of instantaneously wireless mobile platform. So for the time being, make sure your Raspberry Pi is connected to your current network. You've ran the updates. You've installed the Google Motif, the Google module. We've got the trunk configured. We've done all that. Make sure on your mobile device that you're using, make sure it's connected to your Wi-Fi as well. And also that's all we'll be using is the Wi-Fi. So make sure it is connected. Also, go ahead and make sure you have at least downloaded a SIP application, preferably the one that I did suggest. I'm going to show you here. You might not be able to see it too well, but so this is a mobile app, and I am going to. This is Zoiper. This is the mobile application here. The dial pad's up right now, but this is the mobile application. I know you can't hardly see it too well, but so what you want to do is you want to add excuse me, you want to add an account. So you click on the config button at the top, click on accounts, and you want to add an account. It says, do you have an account, username and password? You say yes, because you created one on your PBX. And what you want to do, you want to say manual configuration. Okay. Then it's going to give you an option of SIP and AIX. You want to choose SIP. Okay. You're going to give your account a name. I'm going to navigate here. We're going to excuse me. We're going to choose an extension to add here. We're going to just choose this first one here that I got. So account name, we're just going to call it B Mobile. That's what we got on here. So let's say OK, host. So this is going to be the host name of your PBX, either the host or the IP address. For mine, of course, it ends in 134. You don't have to worry about the port. Hit OK. Here's important is a username and password. So your username is going to be your extension. We're going to OK. And your password, you're going to put in the password that you set up for your extension on your PBX. Okay, I think I got it right. If I save, and so I'm going to show you folks here. I added that account. You see there's a secondary account here. It says Be Mobile. Got a green check box that says the account is ready. Okay. So I'm going to go here to my dashboard. And if I look at my dashboard, I should have users online asterisk hour. Okay, so go back a dollar. We're gonna say here. As you can see here, you see the little green is kind of going up. That's an indication that we've got right there. One user is online. So I've got my PBX set up. Right now it's connected to my physical network. Now, if everything is all set in place, I should be able to make a call, place a call, an outbound call. Now, mind you me, I really don't. Let me see here. Let's call. Let me see if I can find just an 800 number to call, because I don't want to. And once I do this, let's say here. Let's do this. Let's do this. 800 numbers. Okay. No, that didn't work. How about Comcast? Or yes, how about CenturyLink, since that's my internet service provider. Let's see if we can get their help desk on the telephone with our new PBX. So let's go to contact us. Let's say home, and no. Oh, they want you to do all that. So one, go there. They want you to put in your zip code. So I'm gonna try to call. All right, here, what do we got? Or billing and customer service. It's an 877. Let's try that. 877 837 5738. Go. So I'm gonna put it on speaker.
CenturyLink. For English, please stay on the line.
Oh my goodness, folks! If you hear that, I've got connectivity.
Starting with the area code, please say or enter a 10-digit number associated with
we
your
are good,
account.
folks. That we're jamming. So from there, tune into the next video here, and we'll finish up, and we'll put the pieces, all the parts and pieces together from our mobile PBX platform here. We'll connect it. We'll get it connected to our hotspot, allowing auto connectivity to our hotspot. So we'll fire that up, and we'll have our PBX running off our portable power, and we'll make a few more test phone calls and see how it works. Okay, so where did we leave off? Yeah, let me think here. Okay, yeah. So we were going to, we've got our Raspberry Pi set up, running our PBX. We had it physically connected to our network, so we could do some of the updating and configuration and stuff, access the web interface. So now, what we're going to do now is the last piece of the kind of the configuration pie here is to, no pun intended, is to do the auto connect for our wireless. And so how we do that, I've already remoted into my Raspberry Pi from the command line. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up the Raspberry Pi so when we turn on our our wireless hotspot, it will auto connect to that, and hence making it our Raspberry Pi, making it wireless. Getting tongue tied here. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get started. So I've got my command line up here. I've SSH'd into the Raspberry Pi. So what we're going to, the PBX here. So what we're going to do is, where you can find that is, you go to etc. I'm already there. So I'm in the etc directory. What we're looking for, let's check out our interfaces. Work, and so what you want to basically do to get this set up like this, this is all for the Ethernet settings here. See right here where it says allow. So I've got a separate adapter that's plugged into mine. So what you want to do is, for whatever your interface is, so if it's WLAN 0, WLAN 1, or whatever the name of it is, you want to take a look at that and see where it says allow hot plug WLAN 0, iFace WLAN 0, iNet DHCP. So what that says is it's going to allow kind of hot plug. Once it detects wireless, it's going to power that wireless device up and attempt to pull DHCP from whatever its connection is. And what it here is, it's telling this interface to reference the WPA config file, which is located here at this path. And then I also have one here that's I have the other LAN adapter, or yeah, the WLAN adapter set with the if I want to do static for the other adapter. So, but I don't have any IP address here. I could copy this over, but so what we're going to do is we are going to go to our WPA supplicant location. So let's get out of there. We'll say back WPA, and we want the WPA supplicant config file. Alright, so if you take a look here, no, that's not the right one. If you take a look here, let me shrink this up. I don't need y'all. So, alright, so let me go out. Alright, so we're in the WPA supplicant, and what we want to take a look at is the config file. Alright, so if you take a look right here, I've got mine imported in here already. This is my hotspot, and what I'm going to do here is you put in your SSID. So what this does, your adapter, the interface, reads this config file, says to automatically connect to that network with all these credentials and these parameters. So you got protocol, RSN, key management, WPA, PSK, pairwise, CCNP. So pretty much all of this here you can essentially keep the same across the board. Most of your current wireless networks kind of accept the same. If you want to get in, this is kind of, if you know what you're doing, you want to tweak this and make some adjustments, you feel free, but leave this as is. Here you're going to put in your SSID, and the parentheses is important. They are important. So SSID equals, and you put in your SSID in parentheses, then your pre-shared key, which is essentially your passphrase. You're going to put that in right there. And so don't all you guys worry out there. I'm going to change this so that I'm not riding around and have any would-be hackers want to attempt to get on my stuff here. So, but this just for the purpose of my tutorial video here, showing you guys how to get this going. So, but you want to set this up exactly as is. And you want to Control O. This is going to save whatever you've written. Save it. Okay. And now Control X would quit that. Okay, so now that that's set, we can disconnect our PBX from the hard line. We'll mount it on our little mobile mount board that I showed you in the first part of this video, and then we'll fire it up and we will connect a device to it, and we'll make a phone call. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I've got my PBX sitting right here next to me, and as you saw before, so I do have everything kind of already mounted. I do have another Raspberry Pi on here that I've been messing with, so ignore that one. But I do have, here's my PBX here. See, if you see the wires coming out, it's connected, and here's my hotspot. There's my external power source, USB to power source. So what you're going to do is you got your Raspberry Pi. I can get to show this right. So you got your Raspberry Pi here. The wire coming out, it runs to the USB hub. The USB hub runs out, comes over, plugs into the external, and then we've just got our hotspot mounted on top. Now what's going to happen is once this hotspot fires up, our Raspberry Pi is going to fire. We're going to fire up our Raspberry Pi. Hitting the power button is going to fire that up, and then once it's fully booted, it will grab an IP from our hotspot and putting that online. So, and if everything works right, we should have our Gmail account will connect, supplying connection for our trunk back in. And once we got this up, I will do a test phone call and make a call. All right, let's test this out. See how this is going to work. All right, so I'm going to, first thing first, we're going to power on our hotspot. Okay. So use power. That hotspot's powering up. I'm gonna let that fire up, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my phone ready so it'll connect to that. And let's go ahead and fire you up. Hit the power button on the external. Okay. And then next we're going to connect to that hotspot once it's available. Connect. Okay, it's showing I have two devices connected. Says I have two devices connected. Cell service is not the best here where I'm at, but I want to show you. So I can show you here. You might not be able to see, so I got it connected, and now let me make sure here. I'm gonna make sure I've got an app on here that I can tell what's on the network I'm currently on. Okay, it's showing 3 devices, you, and you look like you are what? .10. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here. Alright, so we've got that set on our here, and then now let's go ahead and I know I showed this to you previously in a previous video, but just for simplicity, we're going to so let's go here, record. Alright, so no, stop. How do I stop? Got it. How do I stop you? Stop. Go here. Here. Where internal? No, I don't want the audio. Because I'm getting you from here. Okay, so get out of there. Alright, so let's go here. Alright, so I'm sorry, folks. Y'all bear with me. So I'm going to show you guys how to get this going. Alright, so now on your phone, what you're going to do is you need to have, if you haven't installed the Zoiper app, this Zoiper app right there, you can find that in your Google Play Store or the App Store, Apple App Store. So let's launch that. Okay, now we're going to add an account. I showed you all here. See, I am connected to my hotspot, as you can see there. Okay, now I am going to we're going to add an account. And do you already have an account username and password? Yes. And this is going to be manual. And then we're going to choose the SIP account type. Okay, let's give it a name. We're going to call this mobile office. We'll just call it mobile office. Okay. Host name. This is going to be the host name of the IP address that was given from the hotspot. Okay, so and then which that was 192.168.128.10. We're going to say okay. Username, we said 8088, which I believe was that first extension. Let's make sure here. Oh, I'm not connected on there in that network now, so I can't get to the web interface unless I connect my laptop to that network too as well. So let's do that. Okay, and then our password. This is going to be a password for that account. Okay, save, and voila. Now as you look right there, folks, see we got a mobile office account is ready. So now I'm going to show you guys something too here. So it says our account's ready. Go to dialer here, hit, if you tap right here where the red is, gives you an option to select the default account. We're going to select it on mobile office. Now I'm going to show you all something slick here. I'm going to turn my data off. Turning my data off. Data network is blocked. So now let's go back to that phone app. So I want to show you guys how really awesome this is. This is just a really cool app, really cool system of setups here. So you got that. All right, now, and I lost my screen. visible on all workspaces. Okay, so let's go back to let's go back here. Okay, so now we have we've got our phone app connected. The phone. So let's start over. Our phone is connected to the hotspot. Our Raspberry PBX is connected to the hotspot via the wireless, via the Wi-Fi. I verified that on my device. Okay, now data's off. Now I want to we're going to place a phone call. I think I dialed here's an 800 number, and let's just to make sure here I'm gonna pull up the that's that. This is this should let me get there. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so we're going to make a phone call. I'm gonna pull this up just so I can show you all can see the dashboard as I connect. You'll see activity. Alright, so that's up. Now shows there's an actual user online. Okay, now we're gonna place that phone call to that 800 number here. Alright, it's ringing.
Welcome to CenturyLink. For English, please stay on the line. Para continuar en español, oprima el 9.
Pretty good. Sounds good, folks. We got action going on. So I'm calling through my wireless PBX here. I want to show you all. Here's my wireless PBX. I got the app running my phone. I'm gonna cut this off because it's waiting for me to press something here. So bam. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. www.bewit.net. This is an awesome kind of do-it-yourself project. If you guys want to set up a Google Voice kind of voice system transition and get yourself off of that landline. This is just an awesome platform. You can drop in, take with you, be mobile with it. If you have a hotspot, you can kind of easily set it up. Any questions, just hit me up. Subscribe. If right up here you see that, subscribe to my page, and then hit that like button for me. Have any comments or questions, leave them right down below. There's a comment field if you look down below, right somewhere, right down, I guess somewhere right there. Look down below, give me some comments, feedback, leave me a number. I love to call you right from this system. You can see that you can hear the call quality and clarity of this platform. This is a awesome system to have and deploy in your home or small business. Okay, so now that you have your Asterisk PBX, you have the Raspberry Pi configured set up. You pulled up your web interface as you see here. Excuse me. You pull up your web interface and you go ahead and log into your PBX. Okay, you're gonna log in. Excuse me. Okay, so we're logged in, and what we want to do now is everything's all configured. So we want to let's go ahead and set up our phone. Okay, let's go ahead and get that set up. So basically, excuse me. If you don't have the application, I'm running Android, so I'm gonna show you where you can go. Just open up your Google Play Store and type in Zoiper, Zoiper, and it's that right there. All right, so I've already got it installed. You navigate here. Excuse me. Need some water. You navigate there. Install it. I've already got the application installed. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I'm going to show you, walk you through configuring this. So what I'm going to do is go here. I'm going to let's remove that account, cancel. Okay, so we're going to add account. Excuse me. We're going to add an account. What is this? Do you already have an account? Username or password? Yes. We got manual configuration is what we want. We want to choose a SIP account type. Okay, for account name, this can be anything. Just make up something that's excuse me. Just come up with something that's a user-friendly name that you know so you know what the account is. I'm going to put in here mobile office. Okay, and now I want to input an extension here. So I'm going to take a look, make sure I got the right extension information in here. So host name is going to be host name of whatever your PBX is. Here mine is 192.168.0.134. So that's what we're going to put in. You don't have to worry about the port. So let's go 192. .168.0.134. Say OK. Our username is going to be our extension number. 8088 is ours. And our password, type that in for the extension that you want to connect to. Once you got that in there, everything else can pretty much stay the same. If you want to put in a change your ringtone, you can. After that, just go ahead and click save. Now, if everything's all correct, so you got a green check mark for that, for this PBX here. So that's the account there. So we'll go back. We will switch to that account. That's our default account now. Now let's go ahead and we'll do a test call here. I've got an 800 number that I pulled up. I dialed before. Now if this works, if this works dialing out, we should get connected to the other end of this 800 number. So let's go ahead. Let's call. Oh, I hear it ringing. Okay. All right, let's go here and check, because let's make sure. Oh, right here, we're disconnected. I forgot that I changed and updated my password. So give me a second, and I am going to update the password real quick. So bear with me here. Let me update this. If you all just hold on with me. Let me go back to the dial screen here. We are still connected, but I do need to update that password. So bear with me here. Where's my? Oh, I know I can. Oh no. So okay, now I've I've got the account password updated, so we should be good on my Google backend. Let's go ahead and try that call again. Let's go back there, hit the button. Voila! You guys hear that? So I've made a connection. Perfect, perfect. So there you go. All right, perfect. So there you go. There you have it. Now you have the ability to take any wireless, any spare extra wireless smartphone that you may have. It's pretty up to date. Go ahead and download that application. It's called Zoiper. Go ahead and download that, and iPhone or Android. Go through those steps, replay this video, kind of walk through. The iPhone may be a little bit different walking through the steps, but you're going to have the same, pretty much the same basic principle to connect it up. Uh, all right, so I think that's it. Go ahead and stop this.